My name is David Goldberg. I am super duper proud to be the owner of Edge Studio and super duper excited to talk tonight to teach this class. This class has got to be the most the most helpful way to learn how to book work because there's one thing that's really difficult for you voice actors, that is you don't get feedback typically, right? You audition and no one says, "Hey, that was pretty good," or "No, that wasn't pretty good," and why. So tonight, I want to make sure that you understand some of the things that casting directors listen for. So we have a quarterly contest, a script reading contest, and we have all kinds of prizes and things. I really believe that what we covered tonight is way better than the prizes. Some of you are going to win prizes, of course, but this is a really interesting dive into what we go through when we cast. I feel like I should give a little bit of context. We have at Edge Studio, we have our education division, we have training and classes and demo production. We also have our casting and production house. And in that area, that department, we cast voice actors every day. We have 5 studios, and most of them are running with productions all day long. Sometimes we into the wee hours of the night and weekends and so on. And we work with in possibly every genre. And there's one thing that has happened consistently over all of the years that I am voice directing voice actors, and that is that they just are kept completely in the dark as to why one voice actor gets booked and why some will get shortlisted and why some get none, absolutely none. Even the voice actors who come in sometimes will say to us, like, "What was it on my audition that got me booked? Like, I'd love to know." And occasionally, voice actors reach out to me and say, like, "What's going on? I'm getting shortlisted, or I'm not getting anything listed. What's going on?" So about 6 months ago or 8 months ago, I began offering quick reviews, $50 reviews, just to help voice actors just kind of listen to your audition and give you some like real candid feedback. And it was illuminating. So after our last contest, and again at the end of this current contest, I've decided to post or run this class live. So what happens is we had about, as I'm told, about 300 entries into this contest. Only one person is going to get first place. That's the equivalent of actually just booking a work. So what did that one person do that the other 299 didn't? So we can't go through all 300 tonight, but we're going to go through a grouping of 30 of them. I asked someone in my office someone in the casting to go through, pull out 30 random entries, and we're just going to listen to them. Want to um, I want to strongly encourage. I wish there was a stronger word than that, but super strongly encourage you to stay focused, to pretend that you are the casting person during the next hour or so, however long it takes us. It will take 60 to 90 minutes to go through about 30 of these and discuss them. And so, what I'm going to do in a moment is shut off my video and post the screen, or rather the script, on my screen. So all you will see is the script. That is exactly what casting people go through, right? When people are casting in this industry, they're not looking at anyone on video. They are just listening to audio. And that's what I'm going to do for you. I want to keep this as realistic as possible, which means you need to stay focused. You need to look at the script. I will play an entry, one of about 30 entries. And I want all of you to just think, well, maybe that person sounds pretty good, or maybe not. But and then I'm going to give you my feedback. I'm going to say, yeah, that person is definitely out for this reason or another reason. You won't see their names. If any of you who are on this call hear your own voice, you don't need to say anything. You don't need to say, "Oh, that was me." Like, just everyone's anonymous at this point, and I just want you to listen. That's all this is about. However, any of you can interject at any time and ask questions. Okay, that is, I think it's really important. So once again, I'm going to play an audition, probably stop after 2 seconds or 3 seconds, and say, "Okay, that person is out. Here's why," and then we go on to the next person. Do any of you have any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it good to be shortlisted?
It's a lot better to be shortlisted than to not be shortlisted. And it's it's better to book. But yeah, I mean, look, if you're getting shortlisted, that means something is going well, and that's a good
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
Yep.
But still,
I've been.
but unless you are the one who gets the booking, then I mean, it's not going to pay you. You don't get paid for being shortlisted. So
No.
that's the thing. So my goal is to get you all to like figure out what is going on. My goal is to get you to decipher what the client needs, to be able to listen back to your own recording, your own audition, and hear what is going right and what is going wrong. The fixing part, that's up to you at this point, or you can come back to Edge and I can always help you through training sessions or something. But tonight, that's the focus. You need to learn how to hear like casting people do, and you need to learn how fast we go through auditions. You know, it's interesting. I was going to throw in a comment earlier, and I chose not to, but I will throw it in now. I mentioned that to go through 30 auditions will take us between 60 to 90 minutes tonight. If you guys were on, that would take me, I'm doing the quick math, 30 auditions at 15 seconds tops each would be about 7 minutes and 45 seconds. In other words, 15 seconds each. That would be, if I was casting, that would be the time I would estimate. If my wife said, hey, when can you come to dinner? I'd say, well, let's see, I have 100 auditions, 15 seconds each, do the math, and that's when I'll be at dinner. So we go through them quickly. There are exceptions. There absolutely are exceptions. Audiobooks are exceptions. And maybe I can just spend a moment talking about this. When we cast an audiobook, we can't really tell if the voice actor has what we need in a matter of 15 seconds. We can hear if their voice is right. We can hear if they read well. We can hear if they are comfortable at the microphone, but we can't hear stamina in 15 seconds, character development, consistency, that vocal control. So for an audiobook, I may listen to a 4-minute audition, and that's really important. To that point, if I'm casting an audiobook voice actor, I want to get through like that 4-minute audition, and at the end of it, realize like when the audition stops, I want to realize, oh wow, you know what? I forgot that I was listening to an audition. I just was actually somewhere along the way started enjoying a book, and that's the voice actor I want to hire. But for a commercial like this that we're casting tonight, or a short narration, yeah, 15 seconds. It's bing, bing, bing. The finalists, we might listen to the entire audition. Even in fact, I think Luke, you asked that question earlier. We may take a couple of people who we have shortlisted and listen to the entire audition. Now, and I will throw in one other thing. That is that at Edge Studio, we are not agents, and we're not an online casting site. We operate differently. We are sort of the liaison between the voice actor or the voice actor's audition and the client. So typically what we do is we assemble 5 or 10 or 15 auditions that sound relatively good for our client, and then we send just that to our clients. So we may get 100 auditions. We may actually send the 10 shortlisted ones to our client, and then our client goes through and selects the one voice actor who they want to hire. I don't know if the client listens to the entire audition. I would imagine that they listen to more than 15 seconds. I typically listen to like 5 seconds. I'll know by the end of today, in fact, all of you will know within 5 seconds whether or not the voice actor is right for the job. So maybe the clients listen to more. They probably do. So as I mentioned, we had about 300 auditions. I have a list of about 30 of them here. It is actually exactly 30 that I have. I'm going to go through them and just play. Let me switch to a different screen. You should not see this change. Let me know if you see the screen change here. Do you guys still see the script?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
That is wonderful. That means everything is working. Okay. So let's get number 1 here.
Smear campaign, mudslinging.
So I'm going to stop there.
Volume.
What do you think? What do you think is a key attribute of a political spot like this?
Attitude.
It could be attitude. It doesn't have to be attitude, but that's a good thought. What else?
Tone.
Clarity.
Tone.
Clarity, tone. Yeah. What about the emotion? What about
Definitely.
realism? What about the sounding realistic? Should it sound theatrical or should it sound like a regular person?
Trustworthy.
Believable.
Yeah, someone said a great word, trustworthy. Yeah, that's so important for political, right? For someone to believe you, to feel for you, to have empathy there, you need to sound authentic. So when we
What about
listen back,
anger?
I'm sorry, what?
Anger, maybe.
It could be. I mean, remember, a lot of this depends on the script, what that emotion is. You know, should there be some element of anger? But what do you think about the script, everyone? Smear campaigns, mudslinging. Should it sound happy? Should it sound angry? Should someone sound confused?
Disgusted.
Disgusted.
Annoyed.
Yeah, it could be any one of those, right?
Angry.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they say the client said we want a voice that will cut through the noise. What does that mean?
Forceful.
Yeah,
Not be
yeah.
cliche.
Really reach out.
Stand out.
You guys
you're
have-
Grab attention.
You're competing with.
You guys can do this without me. I love what you guys are saying. Yeah, I mean, so many wonderful comments, right? So now we take this first recording, and the guy says something like this: "Smear campaigns." Does that hit? Stand out, strong. No, let's listen back to the first 2 words again.
Smear campaign.
Smear campaign.
No, you want to shut it off.
It sounds like a smear campaign.
It's dragging a little bit, right? it's dragging a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So that person's out. Those, the average person speaks 3 to 4 words per second. We got through 2 words, and that person is out. Now, granted, he said them very slowly, so maybe that's a half of a second to 3/4 of a second, but it took us 1 second to go through that. And that is not the way to grab attention of a casting team. You need to, and by the way, sorry, I should have prefaced something. We will spend more time talking about the first audition just because it happened to have been the first audition, okay? So what would be a way to get into the intended emotion? What could that person have done? They could have used a lead-in. Does everyone know what a lead-in is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lead-in would have been
Yeah,
terrific.
It's like a prelude.
Oh yeah.
A prelude, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just, it doesn't quite sound authentic. And that authenticity is so critical in so many voiceover jobs, especially a political piece. Let's listen to someone else here. I'm going to bring up someone else. And by the way, we'll keep a list of some who we think might eventually win first, second, and third place of the contest. I'm not going to put that person in that category because I'm pretty sure we'll find some that are more authentic sounding. Okay. So let's see. Next person. Let me open up this person's. Okay. Here's the next person.
Smear campaign. Mudslinging. Twisted of truth.
So what do you think of that?
Too low.
Too far away.
Need more volume.
Yeah, it's
All
very
of the
low.
above.
Technically, there's an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking technically as in
Too fast.
Choppy.
Too far away from the mic.
It's
Um,
almost lurching.
yeah,
So it
somebody-
reads quickly and then stops for a long time.
Yeah, someone said choppy. I don't know if it's necessarily choppy because the way the script is written, there are ellipses between those items up front. So I think it does make sense to pause there. So I wouldn't say, to the person who said choppy, I would not agree with that, but I do agree with everything else everyone said. The audio quality, it's just the words are kind of thrown away. And if you can't nail that first word, how can we expect or trust the voice actor to get through the entire script? So that person is.
It's difficult to indicate the sort of nastiness of the political arena, and at the same time be separate from it. You know what I mean? You're saying smear campaigns, and at the same time you don't want to sound as though you're one of those people yourself.
Yeah, that is true. And that's a great point. So something else we listen for is, as we take all 100, or in this case, 300 auditions, we can just go and listen to the first quarter second of each, one after the next, then to the next, then to the next, then to the next, and bing, 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 bing. And if at some point they all almost sound exactly the same, that first word, we'll hear that probably everyone said the same thing, like smear campaigns. Most people are probably going to do something like that. I've only heard what you have heard so far. And when we have an audition and everyone sounds sort of the same, it gets a little boring. And sometimes it's really nice when a voice actor offers something different, a different take on something. So we'll probably come across some. Here's number 3 here. Let's listen to this one.
Here we go again. Smear campaigns, mudslinging.
So here it sounds like the person added some words to the script. Maybe that was used as a lead-in and they forgot to take the lead-in out.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh.
Did anyone hear anything?
Yeah,
did.
low.
Still rather low. Still rather low level, David.
Very low.
Way low.
Hmm.
Well,
me
it got my
see.
attention.
Let me see
It
if I
was
can get
the
this
same
level up.
volume as the other ones that you played, basically.
Well, I'm playing it back just at the speed, rather the level that they come into us, and the level here that came to us, as well as the previous one, is pretty low, and that doesn't help.
All of them.
And what's interesting, guys, is that I know, because I work in this industry, I know, and you guys know, that the level can be raised. But to someone who has 100 auditions in front of them, when one audition out of the other, and the other 90, well, when one is lower in volume and the other 99 are higher in volume, the one that's lower in volume just automatically has like a negative added, right? It's lost something. Things sound better loud, and if your audition is under level or too low of a level, I should say, then it's just you're already like at a disadvantage. So you really want to make sure that the levels are up. Yeah, recording volume is critical, right? Come in, around -3, -4, whatever, normalize it, compress it, whatever you have to do. And once the lead-in passes by, let's just listen to that again. Listen to the timing of the first two words.
Twisting the truth. Why do politicians...
It's theatrical, right?
Here we
Very
go
theatrical.
again.
Mhm.
Smear campaigns.
Smear campaigns. It's very slow. It's lethargic. It's dramatic. It's theatrical. It's melodramatic. It's not authentic, and so that person's out. So this is what we go through every time that we cast. So this is what you want to start thinking about. Let me bring up the next person here. Okay, here's another one.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics?
This is definitely better, right? Definitely, perhaps
Yes.
worth
like
being
it.
shortlisted. By the way, I forgot to mention that last one was only in the left speaker.
Mm.
Oh, so
it doesn't
they
help.
didn't- Yeah.
And just so if anyone out there is new, you do want your audio to be in both speakers, but you also, and this might sound confusing, you don't want to record in stereo.
No.
You should record in mono, so the mono signal will go to your left and right speaker. If you record in stereo, you're just doubling the amount of data that's being used. It's unnecessary. So this guy's pretty good, right? Let's go back. Let's just listen to him from the beginning again.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics?
I like it.
Yeah,
I
me
like
too.
it.
I like it too.
Okay, I'm giving that guy a checklist at this point on my end. Okay,
What
That
about
is
the short list?
he's number 4. So let's just go on. We can always come back and listen to him as we choose a first, second, and third.
Smear campaigns. Mudslinging.
So she's adding variety between the items, but does it sound authentic? Does she sound either angered or confused or upset or disappointed or
No.
no?
She
I think
sounds like a political ad.
listen back to the first smear campaigns. If you didn't know that this was a political piece, tell me the emotion you might think that's coming off of the first one here. Listen,
Smear campaigns.
it almost sounds
It's-
sexy.
It's sultry.
like she's
Yeah.
eating
It's
chocolate.
like
It's like she's at the bar.
Sounds like a
Deadly.
Victoria's Secret ad.
It's like she's trying to sell me.
Yeah. So that's not, what's the chance that the client wanted that? Pretty slim. They even said, we want a strong voice. I'm reading the client direction here that will cut
Yeah.
through the noise out there, that will resonate with public, that will make a statement. They want declarative. That is the key word on a lot of voiceover scripts that require that authenticity and that confidence. You, the voice actor, need to speak declaratively. What that means is that you want here, let me turn my camera back on for a moment. Am I back on?
Yep.
Yeah.
So to sound declarative, what you want to do is make sure that your words finish at the end. They come down. They are declarative. They resolve.
You land
That's
the
a
plane.
political word right there, right? So the example here, where's the script? Smear campaigns. That was embarrassing. I forgot the first 2 words. I had to look. So if the first 2 words go up, like smear campaigns, it sounds like you're not really sure. But if they come down at the end, if they resolve, it's more confident. And that's that statement, smear campaigns. Like, so if I was a voice actor, if I was to record the script, I would have some sort of negative statement up front to use as my warm-up, my lead-in. And maybe, for example, at the microphone, I'd say like, damn, this sucks. I mean, smear campaigns, like, And that's what there should be, because it's just about being authentic, natural. So let me go back off screen. I know a lot of people join late. I'm turning off my video just because when casting teams are casting, they're not looking at a voice director or a voice actor. They're just looking at the script and listening. And so we're trying to simulate the real thing. So let me
But
go
I'd
back
like
off
to see
screen.
your smiling face.
I'm trying to stop smiling now, but now it's hard to stop smiling on command. Okay, here, let me go back off video. Okay. So let's see, that's the woman who sounded kind of sexy and sultry in the beginning. So let's close her up here and go back to we're up to person number 6 here.
Smear campaigns.
And remember, anyone can ask questions as we go through here. Okay, this is person number 6 coming up right now. We'll probably start going a bit faster because you'll start learning what to listen for, what to recognize. Here goes the next person. Oh my goodness.
You can't even hear it.
So there was a click in the front, and
Yeah.
this might win for the lowest level audition I've ever heard. If it was any lower, it would just be not even there. So yeah, so all that does is it shows me that this person can't be trusted to produce an authentic signal. So let's just move on from her. We're going to, let's see, person number 7 here. Okay, here's person number 7.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth.
Still, I like the fact that there's variety between the 3 things, but to my ears, it's still theatrical.
Not natural.
Yeah, not natural. Yeah, unnatural.
Sounds like a cartoon.
It's just it's a little overdone. One thing well, all of you should have learned this in like voiceover 101, that this industry is really about sounding natural. And of course, there are exceptions to every single rule out there. I mean, number one, the English language has unlimited exceptions to it, and clients' demands change. And sometimes you're hired to sound different because you're playing the part of a character voice or an animated voiceover. And sometimes you're not supposed to be natural, but for the most part, you are. And if a client doesn't want something to sound natural, they're probably going to say it, because otherwise it's assumed that you should sound natural. And here the client's even saying they don't say unnatural. They just say they want a voice that sounds strong, that will cut through, that will make a statement. I mean, this is just a natural voice. That's just someone standing on a soapbox.
I'm already wishing that when I did mine, I'd gone smear campaigns. A rising question inflection might work.
A rising question could work if it wasn't for the direction that they gave. Okay, that's an excellent point. Howard, you said that, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So Howard, what Howard is saying, yeah, guys, is like, you could say like smear campaigns. Like, I don't get it. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But did the client say they want someone to be confused by what's going on in the world? Or are they just saying from the get-go, they want a voice that will make a statement? That's the only thing they've said.
Right.
Now, I'll tell you, Howard, in fact, everyone, if the client hadn't given voice direction, which sometimes is the case, guys, right? Sometimes there's no direction and the client wants to hear how you interpret something. I think then giving that sort of question, like you're not sure, like what are they talking about? Like smear campaigns? Like that could be really a wonderful way to go. But because of the direction, I don't think it makes sense in this case. Or if you wanted to do that, Howard, I would give 2 takes on your audition, even if they say 1 take only. Maybe you'd have to give 2 takes, and say, I would slate up front 2 takes. Take 2 is, I can't think of the word for it, less direct, more informal. Maybe you'd say like, take 1 is declarative, take 2 less declarative, or say something like that, just to kind of give a bit of direction. And then, on number 2, you could say like smear campaigns, like, what are you talking about? Like mudslinging. You can make it that sort of question, that confusion. Okay. So let's.
Quick question.
Yes.
Yeah. When I initially looked at this, I thought you could you could do a question on the very first one and then proceed downward in the next 2 pieces in the beginning line.
You could do anything you want. It doesn't mean it's what the client wants.
Right. Even though you're looking for the strong voice.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing. The client is telling you what they want. And so they're probably going to listen to the first 2 seconds of the audition.
And you're gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you want to be creative and add a question, make it at least on the second one. At least show them that you're getting across what they want from the onset, or
Gotcha.
would be the outset. Because when you have so many auditions to listen to every single day, you go through these things really quickly. So that first impression is really critical. So give them what they want in that first impression.
Right. Thank you.
Like I said with Howard's comment 2 minutes ago, if there isn't that clear direction given to you, sure, then makes the first statement sound like a question, like you don't get it, you're confused by it, it doesn't make sense. Like, what are they talking about? Like smear campaigns? I think that would be terrific. Okay,
David, another quick question, if I could.
You could.
The second and third lines are questions, so it'll be interesting when we get to hear, how people are handling that too. But are we talking about even as a question, you want the voice to go down? At the
that was Lauren. Lauren
Yes,
just
yes.
saved the day, everyone, because there are questions coming up. So if the first line are all questions, and then the second and the third lines are questions, now the whole thing is a question, and the whole thing sounds like this, and that might get a bit much if you know what I mean. After a while, I'm not so sure, and after a while, you want something to sound declarative, and so yeah, I would even more reason to keep that first those first 3 little mini phrases, keep them declarative, keep them factual, make that statement. Okay, we're going on to person number 8 here.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging.
Theatrical again. Smear campaigns and low level, very low level.
Yeah.
That guy's
Ooh.
out. Let's go on to number let's see, number 9 here.
9.
9.
Here it is.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why?
It's too fast between the items. I don't feel like he's given time for us to absorb the concern. And all 3 items sounded very, very similar. Right? So I'm concerned already that it might sound redundant after a while, too monotone. It wasn't just, it didn't have a variety to like keep me engaged. So that guy is out. Going on to number 10 here. Can you guys see how we can do this in just a matter of seconds each if we weren't talking about it?
Yes.
Start cranking through these. That first impression is so critical. I will share a thought about first impressions right now. The vast majority of auditions, voice actors rush the first word of the script. The first word is really rushed. And so you should really take note to listen back to your audition and make sure the first word is clear, especially when a script starts with a small word. That tends to get very, very rushed. So let's just, for example, pretend that the voice direction was the script. Okay. So the first word of the script is this simulated, the first words rather, are this simulated audition. Most voice actors would rush the word this. This is typically what the audition would sound like. And I'm going to exaggerate this just a little bit, okay? But listen to how fast the word this is. The simulated audition. You all know it's the word this because you're told to hear it. You see it on your script. Your ears are listening for it. But someone listening out there on radio or a narration somewhere, they're not privy to what the script is. They hear it with music. They hear it with sound effects. There's visuals on screen that further take brain processing powers away from their ears. I mean, there's no chance that they could understand that. Here again is the wrong way. The simulated audition. And so if a script starts with the word this, clarify the word this. This simulated audition. That's the difference. Here's the wrong way and the right way back to back. The simulated audition. This simulated audition. It's just a little bit of clarity on that first word. Listen back to your auditions and make sure that first word is clear. Okay, we're going on to number 10 here.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics?
It's okay. I don't like in that second sentence, he had a lot of inverted words. He said, and I'm exaggerating, he said, politicians resort to such underhanded tactics, which is a little weird for me. Listen back to that second line again. You'll hear politicians resort to such underhanded tactics?
Hey, you want our vote?
Sorry.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics?
So sometimes you take a script like this and you think, what are the really important words in each sentence? And in that second sentence, in that why do politicians sentence, what words are really going to resonate with the listener? What do you think, guys?
Politicians and underhanded.
Why is a great word, right? Question words are always wonderful. Like, why do politicians, politicians, and he did hit that. What else is important in that?
Underhanded.
Underhanded.
Yeah, underhanded or even such. If he wanted to emphasize underhanded, I would have suggested to him like to say to such underhanded tactics to like really nail that word, or if you wanted to hit the word such to such underhanded tactics. But a lot of those words are upspoken to such underhanded tactics. So it kind of lost some of the grit for me. It wasn't, but it was okay. Like let's shortlist that one for right now. That's number 10 is shortlisted. We have 2 that are shortlisted so far. Okay,
May I ask a quick question?
Of course.
When you're submitting an audition, I was told by a voice coach, always submit at least 2 in one.
I think it's great whenever you can. I mean, sometimes clients say, we really only want 1 take. And, you know, the question mark is, well, geez, you know, if they don't give you direction, there's so many different ways you could read it. It's not easy. It's really not easy. It really does suck, in fact, sometimes when the client doesn't give clear direction. And you should remember that we go through that same thing because we're like that in between the voice actors and the client. So we deal with the same thing. Clients send us scripts with absolutely no direction. We have the liberty to be able to, or the ability, I should say, to be able to get back to clients and say, what do you want? It's not clear. When you guys are auditioning through an online casting site, it's kind of hard to do that. If it's to an agent, you can do that with your agent, but it's really hard through online casting sites. I'm not knocking online casting sites at all. I think they're terrific. They're just another wonderful way to audition, but you don't always have the direction that you need. So it does make it hard. And then you have to decipher it on your own. Okay. Anyway, this is person 11 here. I hit play. This audition, I can see it's 1 minute and 12 seconds, and it should only be like 15 seconds. Let me jump into it. Maybe it's at the end.
Michael brought up a good point really quick about, you know, what's the point of having 2 takes if the client only listens to the first few seconds?
Well, remember I said at the beginning that the people who are in the top we may listen to the entire thing. And then if we give it to our clients, they are very likely prone to listen to the entire thing.
I've also been given the advice that of the 2, put the one you think is better first. If you're going to do 2
I
takes,
completely
disagree. You disagree with that? Okay.
I disagree with that. I think of the 2, you put the one the client thinks will be the best first.
Sure. And what I meant was what you think fits the client's more. Yeah. 100%.
By the way, this started playing at 50 seconds and it's so low. I can barely hear it. That must be lower. That's sub noise floor level. So that guy's out. Okay.
Hey, Dory.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Hey, this is Lane. To your question, sometimes something that I do, and I've actually got a couple things booked by this, if the audition is short enough, I've done 2 or 3 takes, and then when I name the file, whatever they've said, name it or name the project, I've actually named it project 2 takes / my name. And I've not gotten feedback from the clients, but I'm thinking that visually, if they're opening up that file, and David, you can answer this for me. Maybe they see the title saying 2 takes. Oh, I need to listen to 2 takes, and they don't cut it off before the second one.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a very interesting idea. I mean, you could also slate that. We tend to sometimes, for ease for our clients, we take the best auditions, the ones that we think our client may want to select, and stick them onto one MP3 file. So they won't see any names. They won't see anyone's name. They'll just say, yeah, I like person number 5 or something like that.
That is interesting. I don't know that side of things. So that's good to know.
Okay. But your idea of naming the file clears is terrific. Here's number 12.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics? Hey, you want our vote? Well then.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, let's shortlist that person. There's some things that we could talk about each one. We're going to just kind of go a little more quickly now through the last 17 here. We'll do hopefully each one in like 15 seconds. We'll be done in about 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes, and then we can go back and listen to the shortlisted ones, and maybe we'll pick like a first, second, and third place. This next person here's person number 13.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging.
Okay, so paper
Low.
noise up front, low level, ambient. So we move on. Person number 14. I almost said that name out loud. This is 14. Here goes.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics?
It's
Liked it.
not bad. He
Not
sounds somewhat natural. It's a little theatrical. However, the client has clearly designated that they want spaces after the words campaigns and slinging.
Mm.
So when a client puts those ellipses in there, that is an indicator that if there's a visual, in other words, if this is a TV commercial or a campaign video or something like that, there will be time for the listener or the viewer to watch and absorb a video, something moving, and probably the visuals change. So I don't love the fact that he's not following the very clear separation of those words, but it's not bad. I'm going to put that person in the shortlist pile at this point. Let's see. Next we have number 15 here. You guys good so far? Is this helpful?
Yeah.
Good. Very good.
We got
Okay.
a question in the chat. With randomly picked 30, is the first through third shortlisted already mixed in with these?
The 30 that I have, no, these are just 30 that I was sent out of about 300. Someone else in my office, someone in casting typically goes through all of the entries. So for this class, we're going through 30 of them.
Is the winner in here though?
The first, second, and third places are in here, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, no, I know at least the first and second are. I assume the third is, but I was not told about the third. I assume so. Okay, here's person number 15.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth.
Still too theatrical to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
People can be angry, but when a strong voice, I want everyone think about this. If you went to hear a politician speak at a live presentation, but the politician who you like, or even if you just want to hear any politician live, and they get up on that soapbox, right, at the town forum or something, at the town square, and they say like smear campaigns, mudslinging, more than likely you're going to think that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
They're theatrical, they're melodramatic, and that's what so many people are doing here. Yeah, this is about making a statement, not being theatrical. Let's go on to number 16 here.
Hey, David.
Yes.
I think though that people are so used to hearing commercials that sound very strongly theatrically worded, expressed by the voiceover actors. I think that these directions are so important, and it goes to show you really do have to read the directions.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, sure. Okay, here's number 16.
Smear
You want to come
campaign,
up again?
mudslinging, twisting the truth.
No.
Very low in level, very theatrical. Twisting the truth. It's just, too theatrical. Wonderful variety, but just not quite right for this. So we're going to go on to person number 17 here.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth.
So twisting the true, you need to finish the words there. True. Truth, you need that TH there, or it does sound like the word true. As soon as the audio played, I heard background noise.
Yeah, his tech wasn't good. His audio was not clean.
Not clean. It sounds a bit distorted. Yeah. So Sounds like
Quite a
it's
few of these are very low level too.
Yeah.
Yeah, some are without question. I'll tell you that over the years, over all the years I've been directing, so many hundreds, I'm sure thousands of times, I hear voice actors say, I never win anything on the online casting sites. They take my money, they take it, and I audition, and I never get anything, and it's just a scam. And I listen to their auditions, and 99% of the time, the auditions are to blame. It is not the online casting site or the agent or the production house. It's just that they don't audition well. The tech is not good. In other words, the audio quality is not there, or their performance is not there, or both. Very often, both. We're going on to person 18 here.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics? Hey, you want our vote?
It's a little
Broadcast.
promo. What did someone say?
Sounds kind of like a broadcast, like radio.
Yeah. It's a little
broadcast
announcery.
sound.
Yeah.
Announcer.
Yeah.
Like it.
DJ
Broadcast
type.
radio.
Voice on.
Yeah, it doesn't sound authentic.
Yeah.
And that's what the client's looking for here. Okay, number 19 here.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics?
I want to point out something. Just about every single time, maybe every time I've played the second sentence, the voice actor has had a glottal stop before the word underhanded. For those of you who know what glottal stops are, it's really nice if you can eliminate them. Every person is saying, and I exaggerate, they say, why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics? They get that glottal stop before the U in underhanded. It's really nice, guys, if you can connect your words. So instead of saying resort to such underhanded tactics, it's really nice to say resort to such underhanded tactics. Blend those words, smooth them out, glide from one word into the next. If you want to pause, that's fine. Make the pause sound like you mean it. Don't just have a glottal stop out of the blue. It sounds choppy. I kind of liked his read. I felt that the first two words did not quite have the energy that the other words had in that first line. In other words, smear campaigns, I almost hit stop, but while I was reaching for like the stop, for example, mudslinging came in and sounded better. Listen back to the beginning.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth.
Each one gets progressively more like angry sounding. The middle one was like mudslinging. Like had like an extended M. Maybe we can put it into the top 10 here. I don't think it's going to come out above the others, but I just checked that person off. Let's go on to person number 20 here. Also, when we audition, we don't typically search each name, but I have this list of 30. Usually we just have all 300. We just kind of like click to the next, so we don't even have to type. It's really a pretty fast process when we're casting. It's a very fast process. Here is person number 20.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics?
Oh, she didn't have a glottal stop. That's nice. I sort of like her voice.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah.
I felt like it could have made a stronger statement, but I think if I was casting, I get the feeling that I would be able to voice direct her and say, make it stronger. And that's the key thing. I think that she could pull out what we need pulled out. So right now I'm giving her like a double check mark there. Okay, we have a couple more to go through here.
Sorry, buddy. Down. Smear campaign.
Oh, that was weird. There's a big sigh and then a really long pause and then the words. So my thought is if the person can't, in fact, all of us at Edge, I think, agree with this. If they can't get the audition right, if the voice actor can't even shape the beginning of that, we can't trust them. I just had a really interesting thought. Oh my goodness. Here, let me go on to camera here. So this is a really interesting thing. And in fact, I'm going to ask the head people at some of the larger casting sites like Voices and Voice 123 and so on this question. Maybe I'll email them later tonight or tomorrow. I wonder, something that's bothered a lot of voice actors over the years is that they say, when I submit my audition, sometimes it's not even listened to. A voice actor will say like, I submitted, I was like one of 200 voices and only like 30 voices were listened to. And that could be frustrating. I wonder when a client plays under a certain amount of an audition, if it doesn't even register as a listen. In other words, if they play 1 second and the first thing they hear is a because someone forgot to edit out their breath or something like that, the client doesn't even listen to it anymore. And does that register as a listen? That would be interesting if that is the case. In other words, so if you participate in an audition and you realize only 50% of auditions were listened to, maybe they all were, but that many more people had some kind of issue up front. I'm really curious about that.
On that line, how much? Sorry, bring the mic back on. How much space should one allow between the beginning of the file and the actual when you start talking? Half a second, a second, or
Yeah,
less?
I like a quarter second.
Quarter. Thank
Yeah,
you.
or a
Okay.
half second. If you want to go to half second, that's fine. But I wouldn't do any more than that. Oddly enough, a half second is a long time when we're going from one to the next. A half second is sort of like an eternity. Half second is the time it takes to say 1 to 2 words. So that means you hit play and then it starts. And the first instinct is like, oh, is anything there? And then you're starting the client off like on a downer, like they're concerned about you. Yeah. Quarter second, half second. I've heard varying numbers, like how much space to leave. Okay. I'm going back off screen as we listen to the last, we're on
22.
22. Yeah. Oh, someone's keeping track here. Thanks. Okay. Let me go off screen. Okay. So here's number, let me pull up 22 here. Here it is.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth.
Sounded like singing.
Yeah, it's very fast.
Did anyone think it sounded like singing, or was that just me?
No, it did.
No,
Yeah,
it sounds
it
that
did.
way.
Yeah. So one of the key things, and I sort of mentioned this earlier, is to always listen back from the perspective of someone who doesn't know what words to listen for and make sure the words are clear. I talked about doing that for the first word of the script. You should do that for every word of the script. Here's person number 23.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics? Hey, you want our vote? Well, then it's time to level the playing field.
I kind of like this guy's voice.
Yeah,
I think it's the best yet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
yeah, it's real
Okay.
conversational.
Yeah.
A little fast between campaigns and mud, but
Some words were a little fast, but sometimes when you add sound effects and music, it kind of helps it sound more natural. I don't know, it's weird like that. Sometimes some voices sound faster once music and sound effects are added, and some sound slower. In this guy's case, I think adding music and sound effects or the right kind of sound effects and music, it would sound a little bit slower, and spacing it out. Adding more space after campaigns and adding more space after slinging. Okay, number 24 here.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging.
Okay, that's too like
Yuck.
an announcer or something like that. Yeah.
Sounds like Yosemite Sam.
Smear campaigns.
Yeah, I forgot about Yosemite Sam. He was cool. Okay, number 25.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics?
I kind of like his voice too.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort?
A little interesting voice, a nice variety, but too playful, right?
It's almost timid, I thought.
Kind of cute.
Too
Yeah.
young.
Yeah, in this contest, we're not going by age because this is open to all voices, right? So
Well, no, my point was that for a political spot, I would want someone who's like sounds like they're a voting age.
oh yeah, that's and that's very true. I'm just saying for this we don't take into account for this contest gender or age or accent or dialect or anything like that.
Got it.
I mean, for a real spot, our client's going to say, yeah, we want someone who sounds male or female or this age or that age, but that's not the case just today.
This one
There was
asks
something
for a strong
innocent about that
voice.
voice that made me trust it.
Yeah,
they
but it was
wanted
a little too
strong voice.
But that's interesting. A great thing, but it wasn't strong enough to make the statement, which is what the client's asking for. It was a little too playful, at least to my ears. Here's number 28.
Spear campaigns, mudslinging.
Oh, that's way over the top. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh my god.
That
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're gonna try and sell me a sofa.
That was quite, yeah. That was a fun one. Later on, I may go back and listen to that if I need
That
to.
was Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction trying a voiceover. That's,
Chris
sorry.
Rock.
Okay. Here's number 20. Here's number 29.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging,
Ah.
twisting the truth.
He's like whispering. I don't know why a whisper. Sometimes a whisper can have a strong, it can make a strong statement because like you're talking into someone's ear, but I don't think it's what the client's going to want in this particular case. So here's number 30, the last one.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics?
There's a lot of nice things about it, but it sounds a little too slick. It sounds like a voiceover rather than an authentic person talking.
Mhm.
The
Very
client,
relaxed.
Calm, too calm.
it's not bad. The client didn't say that they want natural. They used other words, but the fact that they wanted to resonate with the public usually is going to mean, that's sort of, I'm interpreting that as a synonym for saying like, it should sound like a regular person, that they wanted to resonate with the public, like to sound like an authentic person. So that guy had some good things going for him, but I think numbers 20, 23, and 25, all in those last few are possibly the ones who will win. I would think probably number 23 or 25, if anyone was keeping notes, will be first. The other one will be second, and number 20 might be third place. So, let's hear those three. You ready? Let's just do that really quickly. That would be fun. So I'm going back to number 20 right here. Keep your notes if you want. This is number 20. I'm going to play it all the way through.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics? Hey, you want our vote? Well, then it's time to level the playing field. This election season, advocate for a clean election process. Paid for by the Committee for Cleaner Elections.
It's really nice. I like her a lot.
Yep.
I definitely like her. Okay, here's number 23. Okay, here comes the entire spot.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics? Hey, you want our vote? Well, then it's time to level the playing field. This election season, advocate for a clean election process. Paid for by the Committee for Cleaner Elections.
I like him.
Yeah. I think of those two so far, I think I like the first person more.
Mm-hmm.
But
This
there's
one was a little
Me
rushed
too.
first,
I thought
yeah.
she was kind of soft though.
Don't go. We're not judging by the quality of the voice in this one. It's the performance we're going for. Let me just play number 25, the last person here. This will be the last one we played today.
Smear campaigns, mudslinging, twisting the truth. Why do politicians resort to such underhanded tactics? Hey, you want our vote? Well, then it's time to level the playing field. This election season, advocate for a clean election process. Paid for by the Committee for Cleaner Elections.
It's a little salesy at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's less authentic.
And really fast at the end too.
Right.
Yeah. You know that a lot of voice actors will take that tagline and speed up.
Yes.
And not just on political spots, but if there's a car commercial and there's some fine print at the end, for example, that says 1.9% APR financing, see credit for details. The fine print, I believe you should not speed that stuff up unless the client says specifically they want it sped up, because very often it is a different voice actor. Or if they want the same voice actor, the client will say, we want it sped up. I'm thinking that maybe he should be third, and maybe the woman, number 20, should be first, and the other guy is second. What do you guys think about that?
Agreed.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I liked her tone variation the best.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
the second guy, I just didn't like the spacing at the beginning with smear campaigns, mudslinging. 1 and 2, very, very close for me.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
David,
absolutely,
I
yeah.
want to follow up with your disclaimer comment because it was something I was wondering about too. I've done a lot of that, and because you hear commercials all the time, anytime there's a disclaimer, it's read more quickly. So you're saying really for the audition, just read it the same way. Let the client interpret what they want. If they're going to use somebody else, don't try to superimpose your direction for that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I would do is speed up just a little bit, just to show that you can go a bit faster, but I would not go super fast. Very
Gotcha.
often very often they're digitally sped up. We did we did a research project on the best way, like the best way to speed up taglines, probably 5 years ago. And interestingly, the best way for us to speed up a tagline, for it to sound the best, is for the voice actor to actually speak a little bit more slowly and really enunciate.
And then speed it up.
And then we
Oh,
speed it up.
gotcha.
Yeah. If you give us a recording if it's already fast, sure, we don't need to speed it up as much, but then it sounds a bit jarbled or
David,
rather garbled.
that is hilarious. I actually, any of you old enough to know the 80s Micro Machine commercials? I've literally practiced reading copy, red leather, yellow leather, and like reading paid for leather, made for clean leather. I mean, doing that stuff. So this is like going to save me a ton of time going forward.
Whoever does that, and that was so important because I too leaned on my own understanding, and I'm finding that that's not correct because I also took better tag when I did my audition.
Yeah.
So so great. I'm so thankful that you said that, and David, that you said don't do that.
Yeah. Like I said, if you go a little faster, that's fine, but don't go super hyper speed. Yeah, that's just it's not necessary.
Hey, I
Guys,
have a
we did it.
question.
Yes.
I only saw a few people that slated, and there are no directions here about slating or not slating and where to slate. So, what is everyone expected to do? Just go a quarter second in and start talking right away?
Yeah, it's so hard to know, right? If a client
Yeah.
doesn't say slate or not slate. Here's my personal belief, and and I will tell you that also probably 5 years ago, we had hired a copywriter and like research people to figure out what people like the best in terms of slating. And it's all over the place. Some agents say we always want slates, and some agents will say we never want slates. And there are all different reasons for this stuff. We typically don't want slates because we typically take the auditions and assemble them together, as I mentioned earlier, and give it to a client. So if you give us slates, it's just one more thing for us to have to delete. I mean, not that it takes long, but it's just one more thing. So we just want the actual recording with a clear file name. But everyone's different in this industry. And if we have a lot of auditions to listen to, going through each person's slate, another 2 seconds, for each person, that just takes extra time. We just want to get to the thing that we need to hear and move on. Imagine if each person today had a slate. You'd have to listen through that much more.
Yeah, yeah.
That said, if a client doesn't specify whether or not they want a slate, I would personally, if I was a voice actor, I would always slate because it's one chance to brand your name, to get your name across.
Yeah.
But
And this
wait, hang on. Almost every person who slates does a crappy job at it because you know your name so well that voice actors tend to rush their slate. So we get slates that we can't understand. We really can't decipher what the name is clearly. And a lot of names are kind of, weird or whatever. And so say the slate clearly. So someone who doesn't know your name has the chance to hear it. If you think about it from a branding perspective, it would be just like having your name on a billboard. You'd want your name in bigger letters so there's more chance to see it. Here you want it in bigger letters, more time, so there's more chance to hear it. So don't rush your slate. Make it clear. Also, don't say your slate like a question, if you know what I mean. So a lot of people will rush their slate and say it like a question. Typically, slate will sound like this. David Goldberg? Like, what was that? Say, David Goldberg. Just say it declaratively. Come with a resolve at the end. Someone had a question?
I have a question about when we audition personally, David, sometimes I send 3 takes, like a 3 in a row, and sometimes I just pick the best out of the 3, or should I just stick with sending them 3 copies of the same, 3 takes of the read?
Well, it depends. It depends on what the client says. It also depends on how different your 3 takes are. When you send multiple takes and there are nearly, or if they're identical or nearly identical, it's bothersome. It's
Yeah.
literally the same as repeating something, a quality you have in an interview. And there's no need for it. Tell someone you can do it and then be done. Move on. Let them want more. But if you have different takes, one is a different emotion or a different pacing or something is different about it, then sure, have multiple takes if you can, right? And then I would definitely slate up front that there are 3 takes, or as someone on this call said today, put write 3 takes in the file name so they see it. So that could be helpful because when we get to the end of the audition, we won't know that there's more. So, and sometimes I have seen takes. In fact, one of these contests once, probably a year or 2 years ago, I sort of remember this. Someone had 2 takes on their entry for this contest, and as we were going to hit stop after hearing the entire take number 1, as we went to hit stop because take 1 was over, we only knew there was a take 1. Right then, take 2 started, and take 2 was the one that won them the contest, and we only heard it because we just didn't get to the stop fast enough. So let people know up front that there's multiple takes.
Maybe that's why that one entry was like 1 minute and 20 seconds.
No, that entry had 50 seconds of blank space up front.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it started with like a paper shuffle noise or something. There was some noise that I remember, and then there was just 50 seconds of blank.
David, on
Yes.
on the casting sites, you write a proposal letter. Would that be a place to note that you have 2 takes included in the audition?
You could do that. I don't know if clients always read those things.
Okay. Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way to know what clients do, if they listen to the whole thing or not, if they read your profiles or not. I do know that very often when a client likes an audition, they will go back and listen to more or the whole thing. I do know for a fact that when clients like an audition, they will also go back and listen to your demo very often. So that's something that a lot of clients do. They'll say like, yeah, I really like this person. Can I hear their demo? And maybe they're kind of checking like to make sure that, sorry, 1 second. Maybe they're checking to make sure that the voice actor didn't get lucky on one audition, but like, we really like that person. Let's hear their demo so we can get other ideas of what that person can do.
I've had clients get back to me having won an audition where then they want 3 different takes on the lines. So I auditioned with 1 take, but then they asked for 3 variations on that.
Oh, well, yeah, we do that every time we record.
Yeah.
If it's a take you've really enjoyed and listened to the end, how about an end slate? Is that valuable?
Yeah, some people like end slates.
Slate, sorry.
Yeah. We occasionally ask for end slates. Occasionally, the client will want that. Yeah, it's definitely an option.
Okay.
So, a couple of things. One, you guys rocked. You had great ideas, great comments. So I really, really appreciate your input. It was great to hear. Number 2, I hope you can look at your own auditions differently. Listen to it from the perspective of someone else. Make sure that first word is clear. Make sure that first 2 seconds are going to grab the attention of the client. A couple of you still are saying like, should I put the take first that I like the best? And no, it's never what you like best. It's what the client will think is best for what you think the client will think is best for them. Kind of make sure that your mindset is around what the client needs. That's what this is about. It's not doing it your way. It's doing it the client's way. So guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very useful.
Very
Thank you so much.
interesting being a
It was
casting
good seeing you
director on
again.
this side.
Yeah, if you have,
Very helpful.
oh, my
Very
pleasure.
good.
Okay,
The
well,
LA
guys,
studio people are very good. I have to compliment them.
They're fantastic.
oh, that's good. Always nice to hear.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, if you have
Thank
any
you, Dave.
thoughts or questions or comments, anything at all, just shoot me an email. And yeah, thank you guys for making this super enjoyable.
Enjoy
you.
dinner.
When's the
Thank
next
you.
one going up?
The next contest will go up by the end of the weekend, and that will run for 3 months.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, and then we'll launch the winners. We'll launch a whole article, sort of like a wrap up of this, and yeah, that will go up all in a week or so.
Great. Happy New Year, David.
No, thank you. Happy New Year to you all.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, David.
Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year. Have a good one.
Thank you very
Happy
much.
prosperous New Year,
Check.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Check your joint chat.
Bye.
Bye.
New Year.
Bye-bye.